Now that we have done 2 lessons on substitution, we're going to move on to elimination. So just like substitution, we want to end up with an equation with only one variable. Using this method, we eliminate, so eliminate a variable by adding or combining the equations. So make sure the signs are opposite. Make sure your variables are the same or equal before you add. So I have 2 equations here. X plus 2y equals 8 and x minus 2y equals 4. It says here you're going to work with your partners. Obviously you're not going to because, well, you're doing notes with YouTube. So our first equation, x plus 2y equals 8 and x minus 2y equals 4. So we're making a giant addition problem. You notice that the x's are the same. They have the same they have the same coefficient of 1, right? Because it's the same thing as 1x, the same thing as 1x. But they're not opposite. So these do not eliminate. But if you look at the next one, I have positive 2y and negative 2y. Those eliminate each other. So now we just combine everything that's left. So 1x plus 1x is 2x, and 8 plus 4 is 12. Divide each side by 2, and x equals 6. That was really, really simple. They're not going to always be this simple, but sometimes they are. So now we just pick an equation. I'm going to go with the equation that has a positive 2y. So I'm going to plug 6 in for x. So it becomes 6 plus 2y equals 8 instead of x plus 2y equals 8. Subtract 6 from each side. 2y equals 2. Divide each side by 2, and y equals 1. So we have 2 more to try here. You'll notice on number 1, I have the same coefficient for both the top one and the bottom one. But one of them is not opposite. I have to have the same coefficient, but one has to be an opposite sign. So what you can do in this is you can make this one negative. That's the same thing as multiplying it by negative 1. The trick is that if you make one of those negative, then you have to change the sign of everything else in the equation. So now the x's eliminate, and I have 1y plus negative 2y, which is negative 1y, and 18 plus negative 25, which is negative 7. We divide each side by negative 1, and y equals positive 7. Now that we know y, we can plug it into either of the equations. I'm going to plug it into the top one. So x plus 7 equals 18. Please notice that instead of x plus y, I plug 7 in for the y. Subtract 7 from each side, and x equals 11. So again, that one was pretty simple. The next one, the 5's eliminate because I have negative 5y and positive 5y. And now I have 7x equals 7. Divide each side by 7, and x equals 1. And we plug that in for one of them. So 4 times 1 plus 5y equals 4. So 4 plus 5y equals 4. Subtract 4 from each side, and 5y equals 0. Well, what does y have to equal if it multiplies equals 0? It has to be 0. So there is your coordinate pair.